Hello children, I hope you are feeling happy and strong. Welcome to this special English hour where we will learn lots of new things and have lots of fun. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's start our day with a fun activity. Do you remember the tongue twister that we did in our previous session? I know it was a bit difficult, but I think we should give it another try. Now, I will say the tongue. Betty bought some butter, but her butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make her bitter butter better. Wow! I think I have been able to say it a little faster than the previous session. I think I will give it another try. Betty bought some butter, but her butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make her bitter butter better. I am getting good at this. Are you? Policemen and soldiers are someone who work even when we don't. It is because of them that we are able to have a good night's sleep. They protect us from every danger possible, and we should always be thankful towards them. India has three defense systems: the Armed Force, the Navy Force, and the Air Force. Children, have you heard of Paramveer Chakra? Paramveer Chakra is the highest award that is given to anyone in the defense system who shows great amount of bravery. Paramveer Chakra directly translates to the ultimate brave. Paramveer Chakra is made of bronze. It has a purple ribbon, and on the obverse of Paramveer Chakra you will find the Indian national emblem. The chakra is surrounded on all the four sides with Indra's Vajra. Children, have you heard of Bhavna Kant, Mona Singh and Avni Chaturvedi? These were the first female fighter pilots. Have you heard of Gunjan Saxena? She was the first female Indian Air Force officer to go into a high combat zone. Have you heard of INS Tarini? This had a crew of all women who were 6 members, and they went on an expedition for 254 days. These women have made us proud through their respective fields. They are no lesser than men, and they prove to us that women can also be strong and professional. We are all proud of these women. Now, let's learn some new words. You will see these words in the story. So I request you to please listen to me carefully. Thunderbolt. 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 Thunderbolt is Zeus's weapon. Sacrifice. 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 We need to sacrifice something to gain something. Weapon. 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 Our mind is our strongest weapon. Airfield. 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 The plane took a halt at the airfield. Bravest. 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 Arya was the bravest of all her siblings. I hope you remember these words. Now, let's read a story from our Bal Bharati textbook. Please open page number 20 of your textbook. The name of the story is Paramveer Chakra. I will read the story and I would request you to point at the words as I read them. And if you don't have a textbook, listen to me carefully. Paramveer Chakra, our heroes. You may have heard about legendary heroes of the past and their extraordinary acts of bravery. But even today, many brave soldiers of our country sacrifice their own lives for our safety. Their brave deeds are honored by bestowing military decorations on them. Paramveer Chakra is India's highest military decoration. It is awarded for the most conspicuous bravery or some daring or preeminent act of valor or self-sacrifice in the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea, or in the air. The Paramveer Chakra is a very rare honor. So far, it has been awarded only 21 times. 14 of these awards were given posthumously. Children, we have all heard about the legendary heroes of the past and their acts of bravery. Even in today's time, there are many brave heroes who have sacrificed their lives for the country. Paramveer Chakra is India's highest military award. It is awarded for the bravest act one has performed. This award is a very rare honor and so far only 21 Paramveer Chakra have been given. Indra's Vajra or thunderbolt is supposed to be a matchless weapon. But what makes the weapon invincible is the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadichi. According to legend, thousands of years ago, a demon had stolen all the water in the world. Innocent people were suffering and dying without water. This demon could not be defeated by any ordinary weapon made of ordinary material like wood, metal, etc. Something extraordinary was required. It was learnt that the sage Dadichi had bones of such extraordinary power. But how could one ask for the bones of a living man? Sage Dadichi was a noble person. He himself laid down his life and gave his own bones to help the people. Indra Vajra, Indra's weapon of thunderbolts, was fashioned from these bones and the demon was defeated. Indra Vajra is an almost matchless weapon because of its supreme sacrifice for sage Dadichi. According to a legend, 1,000 years ago, a demon had stolen all the water. People were suffering and dying without water. This demon could not be defeated by ordinary weapons made from ordinary wood material. Dadichi, who had bones of extraordinary power, laid his life and gave his own bones to help people. Indra's weapon of thunderbolts was fashioned from these bones, and the demon was defeated. The Indian military derives its strength and power from the sacrifice of the bravest of the brave, the Paramveer Chakra holders. Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh Sikho, Squadron number 18, the Flying Bullets. On the 14th of December 1971, Srinagar airfield was attacked by a wave of 6 enemy Sabre aircraft. Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh Sikho was on readiness duty at that time. He could not take off immediately because of clouds of dust raised by another aircraft. By the time the runway was clear, the enemy aircraft were overhead. They were flying low, firing and attacking the airfield with bombs. Even then, Flying Officer Sikho took off in his Nat fighter the moment he could. Children, on the 14th of December in Srinagar airfield, there was an attack by 6 enemy Sabre aircraft. Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh Sikho was ready and on duty at that time. He could not attack them because of clouds. It was also because of dust raised by another aircraft. By the time the runway was clear, the enemy aircraft was overhead. They were flying low, high, firing and attacking the airfield with bombs. He began to combat the powerful Sabre jet aircraft of the enemy. He damaged 2 of them. 14 दिसंबर के दिन श्रीनगर एयरफील्ड पे 6 दुश्मन सेबर एयरक्राफ्ट्स ने हमें बोल दिया. फ्लाइंग ऑफिसर निर्मलजीत सिंह सिक्खो अपनी ड्यूटी पर थे. दूसरे एयरक्राफ्ट ने फैलाए बादल और धूल की वजह से वो हमला नहीं कर पाए. जब तक रनवे क्लियर हुआ, दुश्मन के एयरक्राफ्ट सर पे थे. एयरक्राफ्ट बॉम्ब डालते हुए और हमला करते हुए गोलियां बरसा रहे थे. फिर भी दुश्मन के 2 एयरक्राफ्ट को निर्मलजीत सिंह जी ने नुकसान पहुंचाया. His fight with the attacking aircraft now continued at treetop height. At last, the enemy aircraft fled from the scene of battle. The airfield and the town of Srinagar were saved. But alas, Flying Officer Sikho's aircraft too crashed and he was killed. Flying Officer Sikho displayed great flying skill and determination in the face of certain death. He showed unmatched heroism above and beyond the call of duty. Salute to the bravest of the brave, Flying Officer निर्मलजीत सिंह सिक्खो. काफी फाइट के बाद सारे दुश्मनी एयरक्राफ्ट लौट गए और श्रीनगर शहर को बचाया गया. लेकिन इस हादसे में निर्मलजीत सिंह जी का प्लेन क्रैश हो गया और वो देश के लिए शहीद हो गए. इसी तरह वीरों के वीर निर्मलजीत सिंह सिक्खो को हमारा सलाम. To sum it up all, we learned about Nirmaljit Singh Sikho. He gave his life to save the town of Srinagar, and we all salute him. Now, let's do an activity. In this activity, You will see a few sentences on your screens. You have to fill in these sentences using adjectives. Do you remember what adjectives are? Yes, we learned this in our previous session. Adjectives are words that describe nouns. So you will see a few sentences on the screen, and with the help of adjectives, you have to fill in the blanks in these sentences. Sounds easy? Let's give it a try. I hope you all were able to solve this activity. Let's have a look at the answers. I had a beautiful plain purple ribbon. The runway was clear and the jet was flying low. They have lovely bronze medals. Indra Vajra was made of strong and extraordinary powers of Dadichi. I hope you got all the answers correct. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I hope that you also learned something new. Now it's time for you to sit back and relax while I tell you a wonderful story. The name of this story is The Missing Bat, and this story is written by Vaishali Shroff. "35 kilometers away from Jammu and Kashmir is a small town called Sangam. Sangam has a lot of willow trees. Do you know what willow trees are? Willow trees are used to manufacture cricket bats. There were many cricket bat manufacturing factories in Kashmir, and one such factory was owned by Rahman Chacha. Rahman Chacha was a very old man who had a hunchback. He used to love to have a look at his stacked up bats. He always wanted everything to be perfect. He used to roam about in his factory with his walking stick. As I said, he was old. Rahman Chacha was very particular about his work. He used to monitor each and every person working in his factory. He had many people in his factory who used to work for him. One such person was Amir. Amir had a son named Ahmad, and Ahmad used to come to the factory with his father every day. He also used to like to roam about in the factory. Ahmad loved to have a look at the bats. He used to often wonder if he could climb the long stacks of bats and catch the moon. Amir loved cricket. Sometimes he would pick up a chiseled bat and swing it in thin air. He was just 7 years old, but he dreamt of being Sachin Tendulkar. Rahman Chacha was particular about everything. Every evening, when the workers left for their homes, Rahman Chacha used to go in the factory and count all the bats in the stacks. One morning, when Rahman Chacha opened the warehouse to load the bats into the truck, he realized that one bat was missing. This bat was the lightest in weight and it was big in size. This made Rahman Chacha very angry. Rahman Chacha got very furious. He ordered all his men to come at once and he asked them in deep anger, "One bat is missing. No one enters the warehouse but you and me. I want to know where is this one bat." Everyone was scared. They didn't know what to say. They just put their heads down in shame. Then something struck Rahman Chacha. He asked Amir, "Where is your son Ahmad? He is the one who keeps on roaming in the factory." Amir said, "Chacha, Ahmad is sick. He has caught cold, which is why he is not here today." And suddenly, Amir had a look at Rahman Chacha and started laughing. The same reaction was followed by everyone else except Rahman Chacha. Rahman Chacha got even more furious. He said, "Why are you laughing, you fools? One bat is missing. Where will I find it?" Amir pointed at Rahman Chacha's hand. He was holding a bat instead of a stick. Everyone burst out in laughter, including Rahman Chacha. Laughed loudly. Everyone was shocked to see Rahman Chacha laughed. In fact, nobody had seen Rahman Chacha laugh in his entire life. And guess what? They learned something new about Rahman Chacha. And no, it was not that he did not laugh. In fact, it was that he used to wear dentures. I hope you enjoyed this story. Now, for today's homework, I will request you to create greeting cards for the brave hearts of our nation. You could write any message that you would like to convey to them, or you could also thank them for their services. Now, I would like to end this session with a fun fact. Did you know that Leonardo da Vinci was not just an artist? He was also a writer, a musician, an inventor, and many more such things. He had created plans which could have brought about technological advancements. But because of the time where he used to live, his inventions could not be taken further. I hope you enjoyed today's session and I will see you in our next session. Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.